The attack on Caitlin Clark is live and well. They are not stopping. They are using any and every opportunity to attack her from all angles. Dave Portnoy absolutely went off about it. We had Jason Whitlock chime in a bunch of things about it. This whole Sophie Cunningham, this trans thing, this thing is getting out of control and it's spilling over to Caitlin Clark. She don't have anything to do with it. People are being used as pawns. We have to get into it, man. Welcome to Keep the Vision. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share the channel, hit the bell notification, and hype the video. That'd be greatly, greatly appreciated. Let's get right into things. So, Megyn Kelly took to Twitter to basically blast Caitlin Clark, call her a coward for her response to this entire trans situation. We'll take a listen to what Caitlin had to say that had her and so many upset with her and now turning on her for some sort of reason.
It's not really a discussion we really have in our locker room. I think it's for leagues and the governing bodies to work with their athletes to find solutions, but our focus is on basketball, and that's what we talk about and how we can get wins, and obviously we didn't do that tonight, so need to find an area to improve in that way.
Do you have any, reaction to the...
I just answered for you.
Thank you.
All right.
And that was her response to this whole trans thing. And here it says, Caitlin Clark dodges question on protecting women's sports is for the leagues and governing bodies to work with their athletes to find solutions, okay? And you have a bunch of people calling her out. You have Megyn Kelly calling her a coward and all of this stuff. And Dave Portnoy went on to respond and blast her. She said, absolute moron. He said, absolute moron / idiot to call Caitlin Clark a coward for this answer. First of all, you don't even know how she feels on this issue. And more importantly, she doesn't owe it to you or anybody else to be your political talking point. She just wants to play ball. Total coward, cheap shot to call her a coward for not being your puppet. And that is what is going on. People are trying to use Caitlin Clark as a puppet for all types of things. And it is ridiculous, okay? At this point, Caitlin Clark can do no right. And somebody's going to be mad about everything that she does or says. And a lot of it is stemming from just blatant hate. And Caitlin Clark doesn't have anything to do with this topic at hand. Dave Portnoy also went on to say, how did Sophie saying trans girls shouldn't compete in girls sports turn into Sophie hates black people? Now people are saying Sophie hates black people because of her trans stance, okay? He says, I'm very confused on how the two things are related, okay? And someone responded and said, they're the same thing, Dave. Being anti-trans is being anti-black. If someone isn't accepting, they're just simply not accepting. It always just makes me so confused how some people don't even get it, okay? It says, these people are slow. She's not even anti-trans. She just wants to protect women's sports from men pretending to be women. Now, a lot of this stuff is starting to spill over to Caitlin Clark, and it truly has nothing to do with her. Let's take a listen to what Jason Whitlock had to say about this.
Stephanie White still will not say boys and girls.
When we talk about biological male and scientifically where we are, I think it's a totally...
Stephanie White, you did no favors with this. You went to the podium and made things worse. We gotta keep it real.
Different scenario. As I said, I'm not educated enough in terms of transgender and transitioning to give you a smart answer.
Not educated enough from a scientific standpoint. They're excluding thousands of female basketball players from the Indiana Fever roster. They're excluding millions of female basketball players from the WNBA. What is she talking about? What is she talking about? Does she even understand sports? Cheryl Reeves. At least she doesn't hedge. Cheryl Reeves just like she's all in.
We need to protect trans kids. Every kid. To me, it's a human rights issue. Every kid has a right to sports, regardless of gender diverse, transgender.
If they're good enough, and if they got the right equipment, and those boys with bat and balls between their legs need to go compete against other boys with bat and balls between their legs. They don't need
oh, shit.
to transition or have their private parts cut off so they can go compete against girls. Everything's open to everybody. But not everything is for everybody.
That's true. That's a fair point. Everything's not for everybody. He continued on.
The next Riley Gaines, the next Sophie Cunningham, the next Stage Seal, a walking protest sign with a pull-up three. Gaines and Cunningham drew a hard line on men and women's sports. That's courageous. They're clear. That's their own names on the line. What is not courageous is hijacking Caitlin's basketball spotlight to turn Fever road games into traveling political rallies that Caitlin did not call. Sunday in Minneapolis, third straight Fever game with a demonstration circus. Signs outside, protect trans women on a loudspeaker, thank you Sophie on a cardboard. Cheryl Reeve under the jacket in a shirt that read, trans kids belong. Mid-court chat with Sophie Cunningham before the tip. Sophie booed on first touch and all night. Half a state of Iowa in the building, and the ball was the secondary story. Caitlin Clark, after the game, was asked about the outside noise. Take a listen. And I just answered. I actually loved it. She was pressed again. I just answered. It's the right instinct. It's just unfinished. Focus is not a press conference sentence. Focus is a season-long enforcement action, and it starts where she points her own voltage. Stephanie White still will not say boys and girls. Not educated enough from a scientific standpoint. Frustrated the country will not insulate her from the question. Lead with the conversation. Keep basketball the main thing. While the main thing is a category her league will not define. Let's take a...
And the problem with Stephanie White saying lead with basketball and this and that is just a couple weeks ago with the whole, or however long it was ago with the Alyssa Thomas situation, you got to the podium and spoke about all the things that the league is built on, and you never really listed basketball. You talked about these smaller groups and being inclusive and this and that. You never even talked about basketball being what the WNBA is supposed to actually be about.
Through. Exclusion is never the answer. Well, they got a 12-man, 11-man roster. They're excluding thousands of female basketball players from the Indiana Fever roster. They're excluding millions of female basketball players from the WNBA. What is she talking about? They've been excluding girls from basketball teams since Stephanie White was in junior high and high school. Everybody doesn't get to play. Stephanie White excludes players during the game. Hey, Damaris Dantas, you don't get to play today. What is she talking about? Does she even understand sports? Cheryl Reeves.
This is wild, man.
Lighting up the stands or litigating a call is an ounce not spent putting Mitchell in rhythm, Boston on the seal, or the second unit in the right mindset. Teammates react to her. They benefit from the spotlight. Too often they are not in the fight with her because the style and the circus do not invite them all the way in.
This thing has taken such a turn now because of their trans stance. They hate black people. I mean, it's ridiculous, man. The WNBA, the gift that keeps on giving, this league can't get out of their own way. They're getting called out by it. They claim they want to be about basketball, but they only talk about everything that does not involve the actual game of basketball. What says you? Get down in the comments. Let me know what you think. This Keep the Vision. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and share the channel.